We'll first start in a cross-legged seated pose. Now, if we cross our legs here, we can feel this little bit of external rotation that's happening in our legs. Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to the piriformis in the back of the body, just a little explanation. The piriformis allows that leg bone to rotate into the hip socket with a little more ease. And it's more of a horizontal muscle, but it's really more for these lateral movements into the hips. When they get tight, the lower back, if it's more mobile, will take the strain. So that's pretty much the principle of all the bones in the body. If the knee is weak, the hip has to take over and the foot has to take over, right? If the hip is weak, the knee takes over, lower back takes over. So we want to create more functional movement in all of those areas. So we'll work a little bit into the flexibility of the hip, and then we'll isolate that piriformis, and you'll be able to feel it, I'm sure, in a couple of different postures. Let's begin by focusing on the breath and just welcoming in our morning here. Mid-May, on May Day, we like to play out on the summer's day. I'm sure that was elementary school poetry for me. So begin by connecting with the breath. Feeling the sits bones deep down into the earth and the crown of the head up towards the sky. And what's in between? Can we create some spaciousness? So as gravity does its thing, or as Stephen affectionately says, gravity sucks, it does. It draws us right back down to the earth. Let's inhale the crown of the head towards the sky. Keep the spine nice and long, crown of the head extending upwards. And as you exhale, draw the belly into the back body. We'll do this on the back in a moment. Inhale, continue to extend the crown up towards the sky, but drop the chin down. In fact, take your index finger, place it on the chin. And it's almost like you're lifting your chin, but your index finger's in the way. And feel that lengthen through the back of the head. Now take your index finger away and continue the lengthening through the back of the head. As you continue to extend through the crown of the head, let's take a block and place it on top of the head. And imagine pressing that block up towards the sky. And then rotating the head and neck towards the right without dropping the block. Keep pressing upwards and then coming back through center. And then rotating the head towards the left. Now, some people actually who have a point at the top of their head can't do this, but I'm assuming you can right now. But the idea is just to feel that traction you're creating on your own. Good. And notice those areas of tightness. When the neck is tight, the neck stabilizes, the eyes take over, and usually the shoulders take over, the arms take over. If the shoulders are tight, the neck takes over and the ribs take over. So this is how the body seeks balance. It's quite brilliant, actually. All right, let's come back to center. Lower that block down. Take the right hand. Now I'm going to open up onto the left side because for me, that is the side that is the tightest. So again, pressing the head into my right wrist. So I'm lifting my head upward. I'm grabbing the bottom of my ear, bottom on the back of the skull, somewhere around there, and extending my head upward. So instead of yanking my elbow down, I'm pressing my head up. Pressing my left shoulder down. Continue to pull that left ear up and dip over towards the right. Breathing here. Feel where that connects into the upper back. Now, why do we work with the upper head and neck when we're dealing with piriformis? Because it's all connected. So now lift and lower the chin and just feel that range of motion as you create traction for yourself. So this is something you can do very simply in between projects. And in fact, I would recommend an exercise ball so that you can lay yourself over the ball periodically. It's moderating and modifying your repetitive stress. Sit up a little higher now. Release the right hand. Bring it down. Drop your chin down. And roll it up towards your right shoulder. We're not going to stay there very long. Drop your chin down. Roll it up your left shoulder. Just play in that range of motion mindfully. Pay attention to where you feel the tightness in the upper back and shoulders. And then lower the chin down, glide the chin back, sit upright. Shift back, crisscross the legs in the opposite direction. Imagine you've got the block, or put the block back on the top of your head and feel that extension upwards. See if it feels a little easier now as you rotate the head to one side and to the other side. So that opened up the left side of my neck pretty efficiently. And now we'll do the right side of the neck. Let's reach the left arm up over by this right ear. Grab a hold of ear, jaw, something like that. You can always give your neck and head a little massage. Press your head like you were pressing into the block up to your wrist. And then gently create some traction. Breathe here. And of course, you never go into pain, any stinging, burning pain. And then slowly begin to lift and lower that chin. So I'm guessing in your body, your neck is the first thing that tightens up because you have more range of motion in the shoulders. So as we loosen the neck, the shoulders then can release, and then we can begin to address this cross patterning in the back body down towards piriformis. And then stay here and feel a little bit more as the right shoulder drops down. Maybe stick your tongue out. Release your jaw. And then slowly release your left hand. Draw your chin down towards the neck, so there's no sudden movements. Roll the chin up towards your left side. Lower the chin down and roll it up towards your right side. So we move nice and slow. Do that again. Coaxing the neck into releasing. Kindly, Maitri Karuna Mutiktu Pikshanam, with compassion, kindness, loving kindness, and then draw the chin back. Now rotate your head from side to side and feel. Now, because we started with my tight side on the left side, I would recommend going back on the left side. It depends on what side is tightest for you. Work that side a second time, and then that's it, and then go back about your work. And then come onto your hands and knees now. We'll shift back child's pose, and we'll do the second thing. And then bring your forearms down onto the floor, pull back on the palms, and come forward into like a cow stretch with the forearms on the floor. Not a huge range of motion. Knees are underneath your hip, toes are tracking with your knees. And then press your palms forward. Feel the shoulder blades shrug up. Pull back on the heels of the hands, feel the shoulder blades shrug down. So not much is moving right now, but the shoulders. Now, if the hands need to be a little wider, depending on what's going on with your shoulders right now, you're welcome to do that. So do that a few more times and create the breath with movement. That's the other key, because that just brings more awareness into these tiny holding on for dear life muscles as you muscle through life. Hopefully you can feel those shoulder blades rising and falling in this elevation and depression in PT terms of the shoulders. And then let's come back up onto our hands and knees. And now cat and cow stretch on hands and knees and access a little bit more mid-back. Inhale forward, exhale, round the back. Now you can feel the neck, the upper shoulders, and all the way into the middle back. And then do a little sensuous cat, because I know who you are, my friend. So let the hands and knees come wide, and let's create a little more flow in your cat. Enjoy it, a little like dancing. And then go in the opposite direction. So knees are wide. Feel now this movement down into your hips. Come back to center. Keep your knees wide. Now walk your hands forward. Shift your hips back. And now feel how your shoulders, mid-back, even lower back feel. Take a few breaths here with the forehead down on the floor. The trick is not to go too fast. So when you take a break, you completely take a break. And slow it down and find the breath. I'm going to guess also that there's a little breath holding when you work. Let's come back up onto our hands and knees. Now we'll counter that pose with some back bending. So do you have a exercise ball? Go ahead and grab it. All right. We've got this exercise ball now. You might even work on your exercise. You might use that even as you work on the computer. That keeps all of this rather fluid. So that's always an option for you. I know you like this aspect. So now we just did some forward folding, working into the upper back. Now let's come into a little more back bend. So we slide down to the point where your head and neck are supported. So I'm in a squat, right? Yes, you can see that in the screen. My knees are forward, drawing the belly in. I'm pressing my belly as I straighten my legs. My upper back is rounding over the ball. Inhale down. Exhale. Work the belly. Do that a few times. So this is a passive back bend. The neck and head are supported. So I'm not straining. I'm actually relaxing the head and the neck. So that might not feel like much work. Just warming it up. Draw the bellies in when you straighten the legs. Inhale, bend. And let's do one more. Now, draw the bellies in, press the hips in, lift up. So we're no longer rolling, but we're still keeping our head and neck supported. Inhale, lower down. You can keep your hands onto your hips. Exhale, squeeze legs towards midline, lift the hip up. So this is very similar to a bridge pose. Inhale down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up. Couple more. Now, all the while, my head and neck are supported. And you're only going down as far as your lower back feels comfortable. And one more. And as you press into your feet now, reach the arms behind you, interlace your fingers, and cradle your head. Give your neck a massage here. Support your head. And now hold your head and neck. Remember that little bit of traction. Draw the belly into the ball. Press into your feet as one unit. Now, if this is challenging for you, that tells me upper back is weak. Yeah. There you go. So we'll work on that. So you're good with that now. Go back to work. Or bring the ball around. Bend your knees and just roll onto it and release everything else. This just feels fantastic. Just do a couple more. And one more. And you can play. From here, you can roll to your side. Get a side stretch. Yeah, that feels great. Yes, just fine. And maybe it rolls to the back. Maybe it rolls forward. Roll back onto your belly. Roll to the other side. Keep your feet on the floor. And reach that other arm up. My right arm's up here. Lowering down. Rolling over towards the left side. Left arm up. Breathing is key. Lower the left arm down, roll to the other side, and up and over. Lower down, and now maybe it would feel great to roll back over and come all the way onto your back, only this time let your fingertips touch the floor as your feet touch the floor. So now you're in kind of a full back bend. This may or may not feel good for you. Let's see. Or arms can stay out by your side, whatever feels good and stable for you. Good, and just roll forward and back. So this is a bit of an inversion. You're getting a little more blood flow circulated. The head and neck are often supported here. Be sure to breathe deeply here and then roll over onto your side. Come back onto your belly. Come back down onto your knees. Bring your hands onto the ball and just stand on your knees for a moment and see how you feel. Good. Just stay here and just now rotate your head from side to side. See how your neck feels. And you're like, cool. It's like I just got a breath of fresh air. Let me come back, sit down, and go back to work. Right? This is how you bring yoga therapy into your day. And come to the front of the mat. Standing in Tadasana. Again, take one of your blocks and stick it on top of your head. It's extension. As you exhale, bring your attention down to the bottoms of the feet. When we were sitting, it's down to the sits bones. As you inhale, once again, come to the crown of the head. Feel the lungs expand. Exhale down to your heels. Now, not likely you're going to stand in Tadasana in the middle of your studio. I understand that. But let's see what we can do with the block on our head. If that gets too annoying, you can let it drop. Coming up onto our toes now, sweep the arms wide and out. Now just spin the palms towards the sky and just bring them up as much as possible. Exhale, lower the heels down. I don't know, we can remove the block. Let the arms come down. Now we're going to touch down, fingertips towards the floor, but the chest stays lifted. Feel this lower back stretch. I'm not jutting my chin forward, I'm just looking towards the floor. If that's too low, fingertips onto the block. Fingertips onto the block. Oh, my shoulders are driving me crazy today. Fingertips on a tabletop. You got it? So you can do whatever. This is about lower back right now. Come up, inhale. So spin the palms towards the sky, come up onto our toes. My arms are not all the way to my head. They're someplace comfortable or the elbows are bent. Find what feels right for your shoulders in the moment. Lower the heels down, spin the palms down, hands touch down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, 4. Draw the bellies in. 3, 2, 1, and 1 more. So feel this nice, even movement. So now we're bringing circulation into the legs. Good. Last one. Inhale. Now just lower the heels down, arms down by your sides. Feel the circulation. Right foot forward, left foot back. Virabhadrasana. Now this is becoming a little bit more of a let's deal with lower back and piriformis, okay? So bend into the right knee, sweep the left arm forward and up. Stay here. Draw the belly in, glide the right hip back. Now, part of your issue, you said when you were working in the class, is that you would always feel injured. So this is injury waiting to happen. So when you come into your forward fold, if you don't have the extension, injury happens. If you don't have the strength, injury happens. So this is where the breath comes in. Instead of bringing the left arm all the way down and then all the way back up, we're going to do it in degrees, depending on how your lower back feels. Exhale, left elbow bends, bend the right knee. So see how I'm still drawing the belly in. I'm still stretching and then straighten up. Exhale. Bring the right hand to the small of the back and inhale. Exhale. Okay, so that's level 1. This is when maybe the lower back is super tender. And bend and straighten. Bring the left hand down, step to the front of the mat. See how it feels. Take a breath in, come up onto your toes, elbows bend. Exhale, bend into your knees. Bring your fingertips to the block. This is when lower back is bothering you. Inhale back up. And exhale. Step back with your right foot. So you can feel how you're still working the hips, but you're being very careful with lower back. Left hand to the small of the back. Give your lower back a little love. Bend into the knee. Inhale, the right arm by your head. Exhale, bend the right elbow. So you're still drawing the belly in. Inhale, straighten the right leg, right arm up. Exhale, bend. Press back through the right heel. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, up. And exhale, bend. Step to the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, arms down by your side. Come up onto your toes. Elbows bend. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees like an Utkatasana, but you're reaching your arms down. So we're not taking any more stress in the shoulders. Come on up. Inhale. So you can see how this is for when you're in acute. I know you're cute, but I mean acute pain. And one more up. And lower down. Come onto your hands and knees. Walk yourself back. Enjoy your downward facing dog. Bend into the knees and take 4 breaths here. Drop the shoulder blades down or come onto your forearms. One more breath. Lower the knees down. Shift back, block under your forehead, arms down by your side, child's pose, and feel. So remember, this is still part of, okay, my lower back hurts. The key is to take the breath where the pain is. Sometimes you're not in your body, and that's when the pain happens. The pain brings your attention back into your body. So when you're intensely working on your work, you're into your work and not in your body. When you're in a yoga class, you're in somebody else's words and you're not in your body. This is my guess. It might not be true, but the breath is the key of bringing you back in there. Let's do one more. All right, let's sit up. Extend your left leg forward. Bend your right knee. Yep. And then cross your right foot over your left. Shift over onto your left hip and bend your knee. This is classic piriformis. Feel that block, imaginary block now at the crown of your head, right? Bring your right hand behind you. We've just opened up into the shoulders. Shrug the shoulder blades up. Reach around and grab for this outer right knee and slowly drop your right hip down as you rotate towards the right. So the focus is on the right outer hip into the piriformis. Exhale here. Inhale, release. Come back to the front. I'll face you so you can see it. Exhale, rotate towards the right. The right hip drops down. Inhale, back up. Now, this pose is for piriformis, but obviously it does other things. Exhale, rotate towards the right. Now, maybe you can stay here. So we've eased into the parking spot of your piriformis. Now you breathe. As you breathe, this right hip keeps dropping down, and you rotate your head towards the left. Draw your chin down, play with your neck while your piriformis releases. A twist and a twist. Make sure your shoulder blades feel good. Take a breath in, remember the crown of the head towards the sky, and as you exhale, rotate towards the right. Then slowly unwind yourself. Thank your piriformis and your hip. Now, I'm guessing you can't really stack your right foot on top of your left knee, so bring it in front. Cross as, not cross-legged, but more like double log, stacking your legs. Crown of the head towards the sky. Walk the hands forward, forward fold. Breathe here, and just to let your body undulate. Now, I know you want something that gives you some cardio, but when you're injured, you do this first. Use your yoga therapy practice like therapy. And then you can take yourself to a more, rock and roll class, like in the morning. Do one more here. Slide the hands back, lift the chest, bring your hands behind you, extend both legs forward, jiggle them out. Crown of the head towards the sky, feel. Let's do the other side. Bend your left knee, bring your left foot over the right, tuck your right knee under. Mindful of this is your acute phase. And I know you have a cute face, so drop this left hip down. Reach the right arm to the outside and reach your left hand behind you. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're slowly dropping this left hip down. So you're just easing into the parking spot. Inhale, bring it up, rotate back to center. Exhale, lower down. Now, I can see right now you're rotating shoulders a little bit more than hip. So make this a hip action. Lifting the hip up, come back to center. Got it? Good. Exhale, rotate the hip down. So just think of this as little WD-40. So I think we did it 3 times on the other side. Now we're going to stay here. And as you gently hug this left outer knee in, now again, I know you have a few little hip things, so that's fine if you're using your hand. Drop that left hip down, rotate a little bit more towards the left. Now rotate your head. Feel the upper body rotate. Breathe. And then rotate just your head towards the front. Release the neck and the head. Not sure we did that alternate neck stretch on the other side, but it's helpful. Think of the crown of the head, pressing the block towards the sky. Think extension. Keep breathing. And exhale, rotate back again. So the thing is, repetitive actions that you need to pay attention to. And then let's slowly unwind. So you don't need a rocket science practice. You need simple, over time, consistent, if you want to work these kinks out. I know. Okay, let's stack the left foot on top of probably in front of the right knee, because again, you're in more acute pain for this variation. Oh, well, there you go. So that's interesting that you can do that. So not the left hip so much. And then walk your hands forward. Now, are you getting a stretch into the hip? Thumb up, thumb down? Yeah, a little bit. And you're also getting a stretch in the lower back. That's true. One more breath. And then lift the chest forward. Come on up. Bring your hands back. Bring your knees together. And then you're going to end up onto your back and just windshield wiper legs from side to side. And that'll do it for when you're in your acute. Now we're going to spend the last half of the class and move to when you're feeling better. Let's come to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Feel some flexibility into your hips now. Inhale halfway up. Shoulders back. Come halfway up. Hands on your shins. Crown of the head forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Bend your knees. Crown of the head towards the sky. Come all the way to standing. Inhale the arms all the way up. Interlace your fingers and press the palms towards the sky. Bend your elbows slightly and feel all of that constriction into your upper back body. So hopefully that feels good for you. If not, of course, you don't clasp the hands. Draw the bellies in, bend the knees. Now reach your left elbow towards the sky. This is when the lower back is feeling a little better and just needs to move. So feel this deep stretch on the left side. The knees are bent, belly pulls in to protect lower back. This is a little unconventional move. Come back to center, lower the arms down. Take a breath in as you stand up, feel the effects. Now, of course, you can do this as fast or as slow, but you know what I have to say about that. Inhale, the arms widen up, interlace the fingers. Again, press the palms up. Feel all that constriction in the neck, and then bend the elbows. Bend the knees, draw the bellies in. Reach your right elbow towards the sky. So my butt's not sticking out, my belly is in, and I'm getting this full lateral stretch. And back up, inhale the arms up, exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, step back with your right foot. High lunge, glide the left hip back, walk the hands up to the thighs. Straightening and bending this left knee as you stabilize, going only as far or as little as you like. And then you can add the hands. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend the knee. So now we work through shoulders. Or inhale, arms forward. Exhale, squeeze, or combined. So get some breath and movement in there. And one more. That's about 8. Bring your hands down onto the blocks or onto the floor. Ideally the blocks so you don't torque lower back. Hop the back foot forward. Come halfway up on the inhale. Now we're in pyramid pose. Excellent piriformis stretch. Exhale forward. Inhale back up. You can bend the left knee if you need to. Exhale forward. Another one. Inhale. And exhale. Now as you stay here, press back with your right heel, glide your weight onto your left pinky toe and left heel, and feel that externally rotate into the back of your left hip. That's your piriformis. Then take your blocks and walk them over towards the left. And now press into your right heel and you'll feel a little piriformis stretch on the right side. And if you can't feel it, you can hop your back foot back a little bit more. You can walk your hands over a little bit more. You can forward fold a little bit more. And then walk your hands back towards center. You ready for this? Shift your weight forward. So part of piriformis stretch and pain is it's weak because we sit. Shift forward, hands onto your block, extend your right leg up. Bend the left knee, tap the right toe down. Inhale up, exhale tap. Inhale up, exhale tap. You're not going to like this. Inhale up, exhale tap. Now drop your right heel, slide it back a little bit, come to Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten your left leg, reach the left arm up and over. Exhale, bend. Glide this left hip back a second time. Inhale, so we feel that leg bone into the socket. Exhale, bend. Reach the right hand to the waist. Coming into half moon now. We just went from Virabhadrasana 3, actually, Warrior 3 now, to Warrior 2, and now to half moon. Slide the block forward, stand on the left leg, open the right leg up. Keep your right hand onto your waist. Take and point the right toe, and now bend your left knee, tap your right toe down. Straighten your left leg, lift your right leg up. So now this is a side work. 2 more. Feel it in your left butt, strengthening. Good. And then bend, rotate the torso, cross the left heel behind the right heel, walk your blocks to the left, and now a forward fold. Take a few breaths here. One more breath. Shift your weight back to your left foot, uncross your legs, feet hip distance apart. Bend both knees, slide a block in between both knees, squeeze the block, reach the arms up, Utkatasana, 4 breaths. So you're building heat. Arms can be wide, elbows can be bent, hands can be down. You know, you're just going to work with your shoulders. You've got options. And then come to standing. Inhale, the arms widen up. Exhale, forward fold. Remove the block. Inhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Step back with your left foot. High lunge. Notice how you came up there, my friend. This is why you have blocks. Glide the right hip back. Walk your hands. Use your thigh. So you don't have to torque your lower back in order to come up. But we're going to bend and straighten here. Whoops. Glide the right hip back. That's why that happened. My right hip was too far forward. Now, when this knee feels just as healthy, inhale, arms up as you straighten. Exhale, bend. So now we're getting shoulders in. Or you can bring them forward and bend. Squeeze shoulder blades. Or you can alternate. Now, if you're doing this and you're finding this knee gets too wobbly, you can often just stabilize with the knee up against the wall there. Let's do one more, but that's another session. All right. Bring your hands down onto the floor. Find your blocks. Keep your right hip gliding back. Shift forward as you inhale. Exhale, straighten your left leg back. This is warrior 3. Tap it down as you bend your right knee. Extend it up. 2, 3, and 4. Stay here, square off the hips. You can feel the piriformis on the right side working, part of your hip flexors. Bend the right knee, slide the left hip back, walk the blocks back, angle the back foot, bend the right knee, use your thigh for support, or cartwheel the arms up, Virabhadrasana 2. Good job. Release that, right arm up, and bend. And 2, and if your shoulders are feeling good, you can sweep it over. And 3, lower back. This is a little more tender for lower back. And 4, bring your left hand to your waist, right hand onto your block. Hop this back foot forward. Glide the right hip back. You're going to come and stand on the right foot as the right block moves forward. Extend your left leg up. Now point through the left toe, bend the right knee, and as you bend the right knee, tap the left toe down and bring it up. And tap. So now we're a little more lateral. You can also alternate toe to the sky, toe to the floor, but we won't get into that right now. Just 4 times. Bend the right knee, slide the left foot back again. Bring both hands to the floor. Pivot the back foot. High lunge. Step to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Bend the knees, slide a block in between your thighs, lift the chest, find your arm variation for Utkatasana. 4 breaths. Good. Come to standing. Now, if your lower back is feeling particularly tender, you waddle yourself over towards a wall. I'll do it sideways here so you can see it. Stick your butt up against the wall, walk your feet a little more forward, bend your knees. Here's your Utkatasana. My belly is pulling in, my shoulder blades are down, crown of the head towards the sky, squeezing into the blocks. So I'm not over torquing my low back. So I know there are options, but when you can breathe and listen, you can find those options more easily. And then bring your hands to the wall, press into the wall, lift the hips forward, come to a forward fold. Waddle yourself back over towards your yoga mat. And come to your downward facing dog. Squeeze into the block, keep the block there. 2 more breaths. This also can be a forearm. You have to be really kind to your body. And then lower the knees down. Remove the block. Swing the legs around. And we'll come on to our backs. So, if you're particularly fatigued, this is where, okay, I don't have much in me. I gotta get some sleep because I got so much to do tomorrow, or I gotta finish this project, but my body is screaming. This is what you do. So take a breath in and a breath out and just begin to feel. Got 5 minutes left, so we'll just bring it into more of a restorative here. You know how to do legs up the wall, so I'm not going to do that, but I am going to ask you to bring your block by your side so you have it. So first you lay down and you just get the lay of the land. It's like, okay, now that gravity is off my spine, what actually hurts? What is my body trying to tell me? Likely you're all skewed and asymmetrical, so you can bring a right knee towards your chest. Bring the right leg down, right foot down, bring the left knee towards your chest. Now we've already done this, but let's say for our sake here of a therapeutic practice, you're just assessing and you're just letting the alternate sides of the body know that you're aware of both of them. Then bring the arms down by your sides. Walk your feet hip distance apart. Now, Dvipada Pittam, this is just excellent for re-stabilizing left-right side without too much effort. Press your feet in. Before you lift, just scoop the hips up halfway. Take a breath in and just see how your lower back feels, right? Because it's probably a little cranky. And lower down. If you're this tired, it's probably lower back needs a little rest. And again, exhale. So it's not a huge movement. Inhale, just enough to get some extension in the spine. And then gradually come a little higher. It'd be fun if Lemon Drop could be like, was trained to do like a stopwatch and could coach you. And then you get it up a little bit higher towards the neck. And all the while you're doing this nice and slow. This is therapy, remember? Just recognize, okay, what is out of balance here? And once you've done that about 4 or 6 times, now press into your feet, lift the right arm up overhead. As you lower the hips down, rotate your head to the left. Feel the stretch in the neck. Inhale, head comes back to center, hips up. And lower down, arms and hips. Press your feet in, left arm up overhead. Keep your left arm overhead, lower your hips down, head to the right. Feel a stretch into your neck. Inhale, back up, stay there if it feels good. And lower down. And then finally you do both. Press your feet in, arms overhead. Keep the arms overhead, lower the hips down, draw the bellies in, release the lower back, press your feet in, come on up. And lower both arms down by your side. Now, usually about this time, I need to adjust the upper back, so I give myself a little hug of acknowledgement. Draw my chin in, roll up, lower down, and I get 3 vertebrae back into place. Let the arms come wide. Enjoy that. Take a breath in. Now you can feel that life force moving through you. Head clears. Feel human again. Cross left arm over right as you inhale. Exhale, roll up. And lower down. Likely you've already adjusted the spine. Take a breath here. So that's it. You can then decide if, oh, it feels so fantastic, I'm going to do Vipariti, legs up the wall. Or you can bring your feet together, knees wide, Supta Baddha Konasana, and squeeze into those butt muscles, piriformis again, and release. And press in and release. Give yourself enough rest time. Set a timer every 50 minutes you move. Pick one of these. Squeeze in and release. And then bring your knees together towards your chest. Rock and roll or roll to the side and come all the way back up. And there you have it. Stay here for a moment. Close your eyes and just feel. And bring your palms together. Acknowledge your beautiful body wants to stay balanced and creative and be able to fly on a plane for however many hours and get off the plane feeling okay. Namaste, my friend.